Hey, Canada, sorry, not sorry. We'll discuss that and a lot more right now on Offside Sports. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Offside Sports, live from the Loft 100 studios in Southern California, presented by 8 Beer. Lose the additives, keep the taste. Just click on 8beer.com and change the way you enjoy beer. Also, thanks to Turf & Sons for the turf we sit upon. Turf & Sons, San Diego's #1 choice for turf insulation. Find them at turfandsons.com. Hope you guys are all doing well. Costa and Pele here in studio in Southern California, and Allison is still on assignment, as they say. Allison, did you watch any of the Olympic hockey coverage, men and or women?
I did watch a lot of it, but I do have to say this first. I feel like every time I turned on the Olympics, it did not matter the time of day, what day of the week, it was always curling. Always. Always curling. I was like, how could there be so much curling? But yes, I did watch the hockey. That was both very exciting wins, both overtime games. Very exciting. 2 big wins for the United States.
Dave, what did you make of the both? Okay, first off, what did you make of both games? If you saw any part, maybe you didn't see.
First of all, saying what you said about curling, I don't understand the sport. I don't get how people are so excited. I know it's
shuffleboard on ice.
They better have the cleanest houses ever in Canada. I mean, it's insane. Like, there's no reason not to have anything on the floor. The practice sweeping is insane. But as far as hockey goes, it's the one thing I look forward to, Mike. I'm not a big Winter Olympics guy, and I know that might not be popular to say. I could not figure out speed skating. Like I used to remember Eric Heiden way back in the day, 1980.
Those giant thighs.
Yes, and then all of a sudden you get this crazy like roller derby thing where people are jumping in on the ice, the team.
Yep.
Speed skating, and I was so confused. It looked like the Thunderbirds when we were kids with the roller derby. Like, where's number 8 with the helmet to check into the crowd? I was so confused on what I was watching, but I had put my time into that. But I was waiting for hockey. Let's be honest. I was waiting for hockey. I was waiting for USA Hockey.
Sure.
It was fantastic because we all know Canada has amazing superstars, and we do our best, and we lost in the Four Nations a year ago. But, here's the one thing, and it might not be popular as well. Everyone kept saying 46 years since we won gold.
Yeah.
And the Olympics is every 4 years, so it's basically 11 and a half years. I mean, let's calm down a little bit. I mean, the Cubs won the World Series 10 years ago. We remember like it was yesterday. So, the 46-year thing is kind of ridiculous.
I got to be honest with you. I did not watch one iota of the Olympics other than part of the women's game, and I got up early Sunday morning to watch the men's gold medal game between Canada and the U.S. Allison, your point about curling, I know they're called stones, and I know you got brooms, and there's like the chucker, and then the sweepers. It's almost like Quidditch and Harry Potter. I don't know, but
I didn't know if I was supposed to say sweep harder and faster, or if I was supposed to say no, slow down. I didn't know what are you supposed to cheer for. The other one that's very confusing is the biathlon. They're shooting a target, and then they're skiing, and then they're collapsing at the end of the course.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a wild sport too.
Okay, as far as the biathlon is concerned. And my dad explained it to me this way. I said, Dad, you're skiing and you're shooting. How hard can it be? And he says, okay, when you're old enough, go out and cross-country ski. And then take a rifle with you and see how steady your arms are as you go through the course and you have to take out all of those targets. Mad respect for the men and women biathletes, I guess,
Yeah.
if I have that correct. The sled thing where you got some dude laying on top of you and you're both going down the hill at the same time. Yeah, kind of not in.
Skeleton.
Is that what it's called? Okay, whatever. Not into that. Didn't really see a lot of it. I mean, I saw highlights.
Well, you saw that girl get her eye knocked out with that ice skate, right?
That was epic.
That was crazy, right?
Yeah.
Between that and Lindsey Vonn snapping her leg, like, you remember those things?
Sure.
But that's not skill, right?
No, that's just
that's just like
that's
in the
bad
wrong
luck.
place at the wrong time, right?
The women won gold in ice skating. That was a big win. They haven't won gold in a long time. So
Right.
that was very cool.
And when you do see like the skating pairs and you see what they do on the ice, especially when the guy's throwing the chick and she's spinning and doing all that stuff. You know, the partner, you know, okay, there's a lot of skill and grace that obviously goes into that. And again, the practice that they put into it. But I think that as far as the United States is concerned, a lot of us were tuned in and waiting for hockey.
Yes.
So we take down the Canucks 2-1 and then S just absolutely hits the fan. And we're not going to get political on this show, but I just want to know what you guys think. You got our FBI director, Kash Patel, who's in there slamming beers. You got the president inviting the men's team, and he makes a derogatory comment about, we have to invite the girls too. And this has kind of exploded, and Canada already hates us. And now everybody in Canada is literally on suicide watch because this, we're like 10 seconds later. All right, when does baseball season start? And Canadians are, oh my God, this is a national disgrace.
Well, that's their sport, right?
Yeah.
I mean, hockey is.
Apparently it's not.
Hockey and curling apparently are the big things. So
Yeah.
when you look at hockey and you lose to the United States and everything that you said, you don't want to get political, but it's been very political over the last year and a half. So for Canada, there's a lot on the line, I think they thought, and that one had to hurt a lot for that country. Obviously, when you look at even the NHL and. Look, the women were disrespected. Obviously, they wore, and no offense, but I mean, I used to watch when it was Cameron Granado way back in the day.
Yeah, Tony's sister.
Yeah, because I was a Kings fan and his
Right.
sister was on the team. But I don't watch professional women's hockey. I
don't either.
But the thing is, when you wear the USA uniform and you win a gold, you should be proud of every single one of them. And yeah, they were slighted. They were slighted.
They were. Allison, did you take a personal affront to that, being a woman, a massive sports fan, and the way that it was handled in the men's locker room with the invite to the White House?
Yeah, I thought it was uncalled for. It was unnecessary. I don't know why we're disparaging the women who also won gold, went undefeated and throughout the entire Olympics, also had a big overtime win. I didn't understand it in this day and age when we're trying to be, grow women's sports, which is difficult enough, right? And so I think that it was just unnecessary, and all the laughter and the yucking it up at the expense of the women. It was classless. That's just my opinion.
I have a friend who I was talking with her, and she, when we talked immediately, she brought up to me, she goes, what about, the fact that they were invited the way they were, and she goes, you think that the women's team, they said that they had other, engagements to take care of. And I was just like, you know what? First off, I always put it within this mind frame. Every woman on that team could beat the living crap out of me in probably 15 different sports. Not necessarily skating, not necessarily hockey. And that's my, my frame of reference as far as the women's hockey team is concerned. And I'm like, God, it's kind of tainting what is just such a great 1-2 punch for the United States of America. And Allison, when we do need to kind of grow closer together, sports is supposed to do that. But this men's win over Canada has absolutely, and I didn't think it was possible to further splinter what is going on here in the United States of America. And the men's team has said, hey, we're going to go to the White House. We're America's team. We're going to represent. And now it's straight down the line, 50-50. Oh, you guys suck. I wish you guys had lost. And these are Americans that are saying this, Dave, on social media.
Really fast.
And then there's other people that are just digging their heels and going, screw you. They're wearing the red, white, and blue. They got to go.
And it's important to remember that the women have worked just as hard at their sport.
Sure.
Also, while probably being pregnant at a certain time and giving birth and having careers and the men are giving birth, but you know what I'm saying? Like everybody is working really hard to achieve that goal.
Yep.
They all did it. I didn't understand the division of let's like why why are the women less than as usual? And I'm not some big women's liber, but I do feel that why are we making them feel less? Why? There's no reason.
You gonna miss the Winter Olympics or
not gonna miss it at all? Actually, I can't wait for Law and Order to come back on. Really disappointed by the TV programming that I've missed over the last 2 weeks.
Oh my God!
I'm not a Winter Olympics guy. I'm a Summer Olympics guy.
You and I both.
Which will be in Los Angeles. And look, as we do the show in Southern California, I know there are people from Minnesota and back east that love the Winter Olympics. It just never has been my thing.
I used to love it, and it's just I think I loved the ice skating and the skiing. I used to love it, but it felt so different to me this year. I don't know why. I guess because every time I turned it on, it was curling. But I thought, oh my gosh, maybe I really am a Summer Olympics.
Just give them their own curling channel, and everything will be great. Mm-hmm. All right, how real is a lockout in baseball in 2027? Well, we haven't even played a game in 2026, and fans are already freaking out. We'll talk about that next as Offside Sports, presented by 8 Beer, rolls on after this.